Welcome everyone to Bounce Off. Today's guest is a 3-year guard from Life University, a certified personal trainer, the 4th overall pick in the 2023 SlamBall draft, and an expected starting handler for the Mob. It is Cam Horton. How are you doing today, Cam?
How you doing, Sam? I'm feeling pretty good. Body's feeling good, mind's feeling perfect. I'm feeling good. Yes, sir.
You're telling me you guys just finished up doing some full contact scrimmaging today. Who were you guys going up against? Was it your own teammates or was it one of the other teams in the league?
So actually, we've been Thursdays are scrimmage days, so we go against different teams. We last week we went against the Raft and the Buzzsaw. We practiced with the Buzzsaw. We were kind of like in a hand-in-hand a partnership. So we work with the Buzzsaw every day. So we ended up scrimmaging those guys, and then we scrimmaged the Raft. Today we scrimmaged the Rumble, which will be open tonight. We got a kind of good look. We ended up winning by like 54-52. We had them down 31-18. The Rumble like to shoot, so they ended up hitting shots, but we ended up collectively getting it together, and then we scrimmaged Lava. That would be the team with Coach Carlson.
Okay. How does it feel in terms of in scrimmaging? Are you doing it full rule book, full minutes? What's it looking like for you guys? Or is there any sort of reduction how it's going to be on opening night?
So early on, we started off with basketball contact only, no slam ball contact. And the last 2 weeks we ramped it up and we went full slam ball contact. So it's, once you get used to the physicality, once you understand that the ball travels faster than dribbling it, you'll be just fine. So those are kind of the things that we had to kind of touch up on, as well as our timing with just knowing, okay, I have Darius Clark on my team, who's one of the highest jumpers. I have Cam on my team, who's one of the highest jumpers in the league. I know where I can leave that ball, but what about some of the other guys that can't get up as high as them? So I have to, it's knowing my personnel and my teammates. So that's what the team camp's been about.
Even with the level you're already doing at in training, can you feel that there's another gear that you're still to get up to for when the season starts?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't feel like we've reached our peak. Because at the end of the day, we only been around each other, practicing with each other for 2 weeks. So we haven't really hit some adversity. We've seen some trials, but I know there's another level for each player on my team, as well as team wise, we can go into a whole nother level. And I would expect to see that here in the future.
And you're telling me before we started chatting today that training's been going well for you. You're feeling a bit sore, but you're feeling good. Has it come naturally to you, or are you glad you've had the sort of ramp up time before the season starts?
Well, so actually, I ended up the day after the draft. I ended up rolling my ankle because of the roll guards. I went up trying to do like a between the leg McNasty, and my roll guard came off and ended up rolling my ankle. So I was out for 12 practices. So this would be my 6th practice, including scrimmage. So I've been trying to catch up with what the guys been on, because they were out there every day busting their tail. I had to get up to speed with them. But once they seen that they see my resilience, my resilient nature of play, they seen how smart I was. They seen that I give it all. It was easy to catch up with those guys, but they were ahead of me at a time because I rolled my ankle. But in these 2 weeks, learning the team, even when I wasn't practicing, learning my teammates, seeing it from, off the floor, it helped me out even more than probably playing. So yes, sir.
I suppose when you take time out, something that can really help you still stay involved is if the team is close. How have you felt the Mob's been as a unit? Have you guys felt that camaraderie?
Yes, sir. The guys, everyone's different in their own way, but we hold each other to the same standard. It was a tradition set before us, so it's a standard as far as how you treat your brother, getting the practice on time, getting treatment, getting the playbook down, being there for your brother. So this was before we even got together, and that's just the type of guy I am anyway. So this was the perfect team for me. We preach family. We preach family. We got it on our jersey. You'll see opening night, we have our emblem and it has family, and we honestly believe that's what we are.
Okay,
that's
awesome.
What we believe in.
I was going to ask later on, have you seen your jerseys yet? The Mob famously back in the day had some of the nicest. Looking good.
You see those pinstripes? I don't know if you can kind of see that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right, that's nice.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You got injured, but you did have some time before some other people were there. You were part of the Super 24, correct?
Yes, sir, I was.
I feel like this has now become mythical to me, at least, because it's something I didn't know about until I started doing interviews, and then I just keep uncovering more. What was
Yeah.
that experience like of being a member of the Super 24, the 24 guys that started training before everyone else?
Uh, I mean, getting that call while I'm on the clock at Green's basement was like, you want me? Like, I was expecting to be up here, but I wasn't expecting to be in the top 24. Just being honest, because it's a lot of athletes in this. I'm not downplaying myself, but it's a lot of athletes. But as I got up here, I quickly figured out that I belong. It didn't take long for me to say you belong in this sport. This might be the sport for you, because you know, speed, jumping, physicality. So when I got the call, I was honestly shocked because I was just doing drywall for Green's basement, and getting that call was like, I immediately got off work and went to go work out because I knew I wasn't in the shape that I needed to be. So I immediately started just working. And by the time I got up here, I figured out I belonged real fast.
Who put you in contact with the league? What was your sort of port of call? Was it a former coach? Was it an agent? Who was the person that pushed you in their direction?
My college coach Kevin Easley, he said I got an email from some guy named Rob Wilson. I'm guessing he didn't know Rob either. So he's like, yeah, SlamBall. As soon as he said SlamBall, I thought of the red and black team.
No way.
Because that's all. I swear, that's the only team that I could. I remember number 3 inches. That's it first who came to my mind. Like I remember watching that red and black team. Of course, Shakes. Shakes gonna do his thing. I always knew about Shakes, but when I got the call, only thing I was like, SlamBall, you talking about the red and black team with Allen Iverson like type, and look crazy. I'm here now with my.
So you watched it when you were
Coach before I got down here. Yes, sir. I watched a little bit of SlamBall. It was a game that like I always feel like I want to try. Because I came from jumping on. We used to put the mattresses together. We had a little Nerf roof in the house. We doing all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But crazy. I followed Coach Kurtz before I even got up here. I didn't know who he was. I just seen a dude on older man just doing plays on a whiteboard. I'm like, the plays he doing. Like, I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. He know a little bit about the game. Well, not a little bit, a lot of it. Excuse me, Coach. But yeah, he know a lot. He knows a lot about the game. So, and then I started going through his page. I seen that he was head coach of the Mob. That's always sat in the back of my head. So when I got up here, I talked to him. I was like, oh, what's up, coach? And we had good interaction. And I'm guessing the whole time I had my eyes on them, they had their eyes on me.
Awesome. I mean, we'll talk about that in a second, but I do want to talk a little bit more about the Super 24.
Okay.
Was there, you talked about you weren't sure initially if you belonged in that space. Was there a pressure when you first got there? Did you feel like I need to perform to a certain level?
No, sir. It was no pressure because it's a whole new game. So everybody coming in will not know what they're doing. Second, I didn't look at it as pressure because, like I said, I didn't feel like at the time life could get any worse for me.
Okay.
I honestly felt like life couldn't get any worse for me. Not saying life was just terrible, but I feel like I'm a dude that should be getting paid to perform. Either basketball, I'm a dude that I feel like should be paid to play, and I didn't get that opportunity after Life University last year. So I quickly felt like I belonged, and there was no pressure, there was no doubt. There was just go out there and learn. And once I did that, it was fine.
So between Life University and now, you mentioned drywalling. What else had you got going on in life at that point in time?
Doing drywall, driving back and forth from Alabama, seeing my niece, my mom, my granny. I worked at FedEx for like 2 weeks. I did not like it. I was a grad assistant at my old school. We ended up going to first round of the NAIA tournament. And I learned the game from a whole different spot, from a coaching perspective. But something deep down inside me told me I still need to be doing something to get paid because I got too much talent to waste. That is what I felt like. You could put me in a room full of that's kind of. Let me reiterate back on the 24th. I told myself when I got down here, you can't put me in a room with 64 people and say I don't belong. I don't care if I go 50th. I don't care if I go 30. I don't care if I go third. I don't care if I go first. I belong with. If you can't put me in no room in America and say 64 dudes better than me, that's just how I felt at the time. Not being cocky, not being arrogant. That's just how I felt. So I took that mindset on the plane. As soon as I got off the plane, it was 64 dudes can't be better than you. They can't be. 24 dudes can't be better than you. You're going to fit somewhere in, but I will never be the last, or I won't. I just had that in my mind to keep me motivated.
Awesome. Awesome. You need that mindset as an athlete. I think most athletes have to have at least a little bit of ego to make it to any sort of level, even in something like that.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
When it came to the training, what were some elements of SlamBall practice that came really easily to you? And what were some things that were maybe a little bit harder to grasp at first?
So a lot of people were saying a few of us were natural, just off the simple fact that we could jump and land certain ways and twist in the air. So a lot of stuff just came naturally. However, a lot of the basics were the parts that like the things to keep you healthy, as far as learning how to bail out, learning how to cut through the traps, learning how to pick your feet up over these islands. It was the small things that I lacked, which ultimately led my ankle. That's what it ended up happening to my ankle, not knowing mechanics, not knowing how to bail when I didn't feel safe in the air. So that part of the game, learning the basics, Pat, he's I'm not sure if you were familiar with Pat. He's Flip Today on Instagram. He has been he's almost been like Jesus Christ for us, because he's done came in and he's done told us, okay, this was going to keep you in the game, and this is what's going to have you out the game. You're landing in this trap straight leg, you're going to break your leg. You're going to roll your ankle. You bail out and you put your arm back, you're going to probably end up like this with a broken wrist. So once I started listening to his voice deeper and just understand, like, okay, Cam, when you turn this way, make sure your hips are swiveling. You're not moving your feet. It's hips. So make sure your toes, you're using your toes to jump high. Things like that. And once I started listening to Pat, the basics came easy. At first, the basics were hard. Yes, sir.
When did the broken wrist happen, since you've drawn attention to it?
That happened in junior college. It actually happened in high school. I was kind of like a John Morant. Like, I would dunk and be trying to dunk on everybody, and got one of these situations. Yes, sir. Ended up getting surgery.
Are you still like that now on the SlamBall court? Are you still going up for dunks? Yeah.
I respect every man that came out here to do this, but I don't have a fear. Like, I'm going, and I do know my role on my team, because I'm also a handler / gunner, so I know that I need to be setting up guys like Darius Clark, Cam, Brandon's coming along, Gage, Uncle Rock, J Rock, Bird. We getting Bird along. I know my job is to set guys up, but Coach Blue and Coach Kurt tell me go attack. You're a hybrid. So once I get in the air and I seen today, I'm learning how to read the stopper, but if that stopper don't get out the wood, it's no need to pass the ball. You go down. Yeah, so I'm still on that rim.
Still on that rim. Talking about passing the ball, talking about distributing. I'm gonna start with something that might sound like a criticism, and then I'm immediately gonna go to a massive plus for you. So when I was looking at your college stats, I was looking at the assists per game, and it was 2.2, which felt a little bit low for me, for someone that's going to be making a lot of plays with the ball. Do you think that number accurately reflects how good you are at distributing the basketball?
No. That number, it was skewed, because I'm gonna take accountability, because there were games that I know I could have been a 10, 8 assist guy, but those numbers were skewed due to our, no disrespect to my college, but it was skewed to lack of statistics being accurate.
Right.
you know, a lot of things, we just had people that didn't really take the job serious. And but that does not reflect my game of passing. I do a lot of hockey assists. I set another man up, set another man up. Me getting the ball to people in the right spot, that's what I do. And that college stat, you know, you can base it off that, you can, but you know, my teammates know that 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna get them in the right position to score.
Okay, so that was my negative comment, but my positive is you were one of the few guys in SlamBall who's been putting assist highlights up on your social media. Okay, that's something that's easy to notice, and that shows that you're proud of it. How hard was it to master the skill of being able to make passes in the air?
I'm still trying to master it. I would say I'm more like on the intermediate level, but now that I'm in a system that allows me to make, like in college, it was these plays were a lot of one-on-one. I'm making a lot of fancy do-do-do-do-doops. I'm in a system now where this is your job, get here, it's going to be there. If it's not there, you know what you need to do. Go get on it done. So I'm in a system now like A, B, C. If A doesn't work, B is going to work. B doesn't work, this is C. So it's more broken down to me. At my last school, it was a great system, but we used to get off script a lot.
Right.
And that does reflect on the point guard. But you know, I'm always been a leader, but at the time, I didn't know how to get a bunch of guys to rally around. And I could say that about myself, that being up here and just in the time being away from the game, it allowed me to find that inner leadership in me and be able to speak up.
And is that serving you well as I assume starting handler for the Mob? I don't know if maybe that little bit of injury means that you're going to have to take a little bit of a step back, but do you feel like you're coming into your own as a floor general?
Yes, sir. The injury didn't really, it held me back as far as just being on the tramps and conditioning. But you know, I do take pride in being a floor general. But you know, now coach telling me, hey, I need you to know all 3 spots: handling 1, gunner 2, gunner 3. So now I'm just taking pride in learning the playbook, because we got a team now where Brandon could get the ball, he could be a handler. I could get the ball and be a handler. J-Rock could get the ball and be a handler. But everybody can't really be the gunner position. So with Rock on the floor, I got to transition to a gunner too. Right. And that's the position Darius plays. Or I go to gunner 3 where Cam plays. Now I'm making the dunks Darius and Cam doing. So my role really is like this. I can be a handler, I could dunk. It's whatever you need me to do at the time. That's whatever coach need me to do.
Back to passing in the air. Do you feel more comfortable throwing the pass right now or catching the pass?
Ooh, that's tough. I probably say throwing it, but I'm getting into that. I'm catching them now. Like, I caught me a few oops today, so yeah, but probably throwing it. I'm working on that. Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. We talked a little bit earlier. You were drafted not just first round, but you were the 4th overall pick. You said there's not 64 guys in the room better than me. There was only 3 if you're going by draft order. How does that feel? Does that feel really good, or are you thinking I should have been 1?
Honestly, I'm not thinking about it, because draft doesn't mean nothing. The draft was based on what we needed. The draft was just for, okay, you have potential to be this what we need. I don't look at 1 through 64 saying, oh, well, I went 4th, I'm better than him. Right. No, that's not how it works. You got to prove yourself that you're better than him. But I feel like to what Coach Kirsch needs, I was better than that guy to be in his system. So I look at it like a systematic thing, which is what it is. You know, so I was perfect for this system, and Kirsch and Blue did a good job of getting the guys together. Gage Smith, Cam Jam, Brandon, J-Rock, Bird. He did a good job of, and like you said, he looked at us and told us day one, hey, that does not matter. Either one of you guys could have went either way. It didn't matter. We just had these. We know what we need, and that's how he played it.
Okay, awesome. How does it feel playing for, I don't know if Coach Kirsch has mentioned this to you, but he's the winningest coach in SlamBall history. He's got 3 championships. Has he mentioned that at all, or is he very much like, it's not about the past, it's about the now?
He don't got to mention it. We already know. we turn on YouTube and see them celebrating in China. We turned on YouTube and seen them celebrating in Orlando, in Florida. We seen them celebrating with TA and Coach Ballou, Chris Robbins. We seen them celebrate. We seen them beating on. We seen the games they lost as well when they lost to the Rumble season 1. We seen the ups and the downs, but Coach Kurtz doesn't have to say it because we know it, and he's the type of coach that he's a reflection of us. We are a reflection of him. So we go out there and try to play hard for him, and he's gonna go hard for us.
Has that set the level of expectation for you as players that it's like this guy is known as a winner, so we've got to win?
Yes. You don't come in. You know, he said, Coach Kerr said he drafted all of us off our heart and our toughness. It had nothing to do with SlamBall. So by him saying that, I knew he was and character as well. He also paid attention to our character and what happened at times of discomfort. He also paid attention to that. So once I knew that, I knew that this was a system that's used to winning, and it did motivate me to be better. You know, 2-3 days ago I had a bad scrimmage. You know, I turned the ball over a few times, and you know I just felt like I let my coach and my team down. So that just doing that led me get my mind right the next day, come back out Thursday and have a good scrimmage. And that's what happened as a collective.
What's he like? You've just said he's good at setting the expectation of this is a team that's about heart and about personality and character. What's Coach Kirsch like as a SlamBall coach? Does he make the game easy to understand, or is he operating on such a high level that it's up to you to reach that standard?
He operating at a high level and he's operating at a high level, but he's willing to break it down. He sends us our playbook with full detail audio. Like, he's very tech savvy. We watch film like NBA teams. Like, we sit down and break down our film, and literally you're in the wrong position. We don't look at highlights. You're in the wrong position. You could have been better here. You can push up on defense here. You can be in this pass lane. You just let this dude blow past you. So yeah, everything is done to a T, and everything's done with a purpose. At film, first I tell you something. Our first week, we was up in the training room, me and a few other guys, and we kind of were late getting onto the floor. It was like 10:58, and we probably walked on the floor and got our roll guards on about 11 o'clock. He said, Z cuts, which is basically as equivalent to sprints in basketball, Z cuts. And we did that for 30 minutes straight, no water, no sweat, because this is a standard. And we haven't had that issue since then. Not to spill the mob business, but that's just let you know what type of business is ran over here. But it's also a family and it's love. Coach Kirsch, the first thing he did for us, guess what he did? He said, I'm going to get y'all ankle braces. He didn't go get the cheap. He went and got the McDavid, the ones that keep your ankle, yeah. So he went and got those for us, and that he really cared about us. You know what I'm saying? So I got nothing but love for Coach Kirsch.
It's good to see that it's because I think everyone I've spoken to is from a different team, and every team has said that there's a bond, but it's nice to know that extends to like the coaching staff taking care of you as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As well as Coach Ballou giving out his GOAT knowledge. He's a GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to ask, like, what is it like having him as your assistant coach? Because I've watched every game you can find on YouTube. I've probably watched it twice in the last 2 weeks just to try and get to the same level you guys are at, but from talking about it. And to me, when the 2016 season ended, he's probably one of the most complete SlamBall players that there was. How does it feel from you playing the same position as him? Do you feel like you're learning a lot from this guy?
Yeah, he taught me the quick in like 30 seconds. Like the quick dunk he always do. Like, I actually executed it too perfectly today. And I just seen the proud moment on his face, and I was like, yeah, this dude, this I'm learning from a GOAT. And everything that he told me what was gonna happen in that moment, it happened. And I did exactly what he told me to do, and it worked to perfection. So once and not even that's not even like, that's when I started listening to him, but that's when I was like, yeah, this dude knows what he's talking about. I knew he knew what he was talking about, but just seeing him tell me, like, just try. And for me to do it, he's like, I told you. And he walked off, he's like, I told you. So I was like, yeah, he the real deal.
Have you seen his backflip highlight from when he was playing in China?
Yeah, I never tried that.
No.
I
It's funny
never
because
tried it.
he pulls it off and then the camera stays on him for a second longer and then he kind of stumbles and almost falls, but then there's a foul, so like they ignore it. But
Yeah, it's like, bro, he is Coach Baloo is crazy. He's crazy. I got Cam Jam right here with me.
all right, I mean he's been interviewed by my competition. I can't talk to him.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
I'm joking. I'm
We
joking.
did.
Get him at some point.
Yes, sir.
You're the only Cam I'm talking to today. That's the important part. Okay. Your SlamBall profile describes you as a personal trainer with the end goal of helping people reach their full potential, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like, is that your aim with the mob, to help the team as a whole reach its full potential?
Yes, sir. By the way, I'm not a personal trainer.
No?
I've trained kids and with basketball, so I'm not a personal trainer. I know this website said, and I kind of just like, you know what? I mean, I was a coach, kind of personal trainer, but I'm not a personal trainer. I was a coach. To be honest with you, bro, I was just a working man. After I got out of college, I just went to work. I didn't know what was next. I tried to go overseas. I had some janky agents that weren't really pushing for me, so I just went to work. Now, my whole life, I've been a guy that's going to push everybody around me to be better. And that's why, ultimately, I have, very few friends now. Because if you say that you want to do something and you come around me, I'm going to hold you to that. I don't care what it is. If you want to make music, you want to be an artist, why aren't you dropping music? If you want to be a SlamBall player, why we ain't in the gym working on this, or why we going half-ass at practice? So that's just the type of guy I am. I always want to bring the best out of people, no matter how that goes. So if like I said, if you can be a cook, if you tell me you my friend, and you tell me you want to be a cook, and that's what you passionate about, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm gonna say, what you do? Did you learn anything? Did you cook today? How you want to be the best cook and you're not cooking?
True. So in that case, if the mob's your family, that means they're your friends in a way. What does the full potential look like for this team?
I don't like to speak early because I'm one of them guys. We gonna show you better than I tell you, but it's not hard to tell that we have a team that's gonna compete for a championship. We're gonna be competing for a championship. We're gonna be competing for a playoff spot. Like I said, I don't know how things are gonna go, but we have a team that's gonna compete for a chance at the postseason and further. That's our goal. That's the coach's goal. We don't want to sell it short. So we come to practice every day. We had Gilbert Arenas and Brandon Jennings in the gym. They came in literally right middle while we were practicing. And I mean, it's Gilbert Arenas, Brandon Jennings. Like, we kids, like, these my people. Like, I grew up watching them. But at the time, it's like we got a bigger task at hand. We can meet these guys later. We gotta work, and that's why we had a decent scrimmage today. We had a real good scrimmage when we locked in when everybody wasn't, and that's why I say our team has nothing to do with SlamBall talent, but our ability to lock in and our ability to hold each other accountable is the reason why we'll be competing for a championship.
Good to hear. Good to hear. As part of the mob, you guys are going to be part of the very first game of the new season, right? I think I've worked out by now, these things like pressure don't get to you, but are you excited for it? Are you a little bit nervous? This is the first time that SlamBall is going to be on an American television network in 15 years.
I'm not going to even, they say, I talked to a few guys, they say they don't even feel like you're playing on ESPN. Like, they say when you play, it's just like you're playing. Like, they could have had us on ESPN today and we would never know. Like, you might see a sign that say ESPN, that's cool, but I'm not too much worried about the cameras and the lights. It's, that's all cool and everything because I've never played on ESPN and I do want to, I want to showcase a very good game and show what I can do. I want to show what my team can do, but I'm not really caught into the lights. I just want to go out there and have a fun, clean game and beat them all, honestly. Do what we got to do.
It's business. It's business for the mob. It's business and family.
It's business and family, and that's like, I'm a jokey guy. Like, everybody tell you, like, I'm a funny guy. Like, I'm not just the biggest jokester, but I joke. But when it's business and family, and this was time, this was got to be done. That's just how I am. I always been that way.
Now, that first game is against the Rumble. You've already told me you guys were competing with them today, and it was a close one.
It was.
It's the league's oldest rivalry. To me, it looks like Celtics Lakers of SlamBall, right? Have you guys bought into that aspect that like this we've got to take this head, or is it just it's game one, that's the focus, doesn't matter who it's against?
Yeah, it's just game one. We understand that Coach Carter gonna get his guys up, and he'll do a very good job. He's won championships. We know he's gonna get his guys ready to play, but we're just looking at it like, hey, this is the next opponent up. We're looking to play every opponent tough. We don't look, oh, it's the Rumble, we're gonna play harder. We feel like with our history and our tradition, people gonna look at the mob and say, hey, we want to beat those guys. So we're not looking to come in and play harder play harder because it's the Rumble. We're looking to come in and play hard because we know what we have at stake. We know what the history of this team is. So we're not really looking at focusing on the other team. We're playing hard for one another. And the guys before us, LeBron Kadiri, and like I said, Chris Roberts, Noah Ballou, Coach Kurz, Sean Inches Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So we playing TA. So we playing for those guys before us, even though he got a team.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to go against TA at some point.
Shout out to TA, man. Shout out to TA and BA. Them my guys, man. Real down to earth, real love.
You talked about you guys are watching film. Is that only when it's part of coaching strategy, or do you guys go back to the house and you're still checking stuff out even then?
Yeah, we checking stuff out. We watch old games. We watch, we got one of the birds. His dad was a good stopper. We watched the games his dad played. We watched Coach Ballou in his literally first game where he was like, I don't know what I was doing there. Like he looked kind of like we were turning it over, but then it clicked for him in that game. And we come back and just watch a lot of old things, and then we'll come back and watch film as well.
I'm going to finish up with a couple of questions that are about the league overall. It's a 2-year contract with ESPN. Coach Planels of the Buzzsaw said to me, it's not a contract with him. It's not a contract with the players. It's a contract with the league. So no one spot's guaranteed. Would you like to be in SlamBall for next season as well?
Yes. My goal is to be a part of SlamBall 10 years plus. I want to make this my job. I want to make this my life. I want to make this, with feed my family. So, Coach H is right. Nobody's spot is guaranteed. So with that being said, we got to go out here and play like it's our last. And this go for the whole league. I just think if people just go out there and focus on doing the right thing to help their team win, everything will be perfect for them. You go out there trying to do too much, try to be Stan Fletcher and see what you got guys that could, the next stand is amongst us. The next inches is amongst us. The next TA is amongst us. But the minute you go chasing them, that's when you're gonna mess up. So I just let all this stuff come to me because I know I got a level that I can go to. And I'm not saying other guys can't go to, but when I get in this mode, that's what that mode is. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win and do better.
Entering the season, what are your biggest strengths? What are your biggest weaknesses in the sport overall?
Biggest strengths, my ability to pass and fly at the same time. Like, I can take off like a gunner and get up high as a gunner, but I can run your team and keep things on the floor for to set up guys to be better. I feel like I'm a vocal leader as well. A lot of my teammates, like when I talk, I see them listening to me. It's not with their ears, with their eyes. And I feel like my speed and my ability to play basketball and be able to. I'm a football guy first. That wasn't said, but I'm a football guy first. It wasn't said on the bio or anything, but so I understand how to take contact and keep moving and get to what I got to do. Yes, sir. But my weakness, I have a short-term memory because I worked with a company that was door-to-door sales, so I understand that the next door could be my next game could be my best one. This game could be my what? Like I don't know what's behind that door, but I have a problem sometimes where after a game, I don't take it too hard on myself, but I just dwell on the game until the next game. So that I feel like that's just I play mind games with myself, because I get so mad with myself knowing that I know I could be a better. I could have made this play. I could have made that play. You know what I'm saying? I know I could be, a top guy in this league, but today I didn't perform like that. So of course I'm going to be somewhat mad, especially with my team. Everybody did their part, and I feel like I didn't do my part. And so that's a feeling like this. That's one of my weaknesses. Like I said, being out for those 2 weeks. I'm not gonna say that. I can't say that that's one of my weaknesses.
That's something to overcome, and that's something that at the end of the season you can say, I've done this, and I've done this. I did it with a bad ankle. So
yeah. Not when they say it's a bad ankle because it's just fat, but I moved. I got the shout out to the training staff. Shout out to the training staff, Desiree, Joe. I forget my other man's name. I just call him Big Bro. But they
I mean, that's how I describe myself too. Not bad, just fat, but I move.
Hey, sometimes, hey, it's you'd be surprised what people can do. I don't judge people by their outer body, man.
No.
Look at Zion. He'll dunk on the whole world.
True. We'd get him on a trampoline. There we go.
We might see him this summer. Hopefully, they all the stars coming out here. You be at a SlamBall game?
It's a long flight, so maybe not this summer, but at some point, you'll see me front row, and I'll be watching everyone. They'll know. Did you guys get a heads up? You said like Gilbert Arenas, Brian Jennings were here this week. Jordan Kilgannon was there earlier today. Dunk extraordinaire.
He was there today.
Do you guys get a heads up when that's happening, or do they just appear and you're like, "That's holy shit, that's Gilbert Arenas"?
No, the stars just pop in. Like you would just be practicing and you'll hear commotion, and you're like, "Oh shit, that's Brandon Jennings, that's Gilbert. Oh, that's Duke Dennis." Like, you know what I'm saying? So we like, oh, it's like in my head I'm like, whoa, but and also I see how Coach Curse is so he's like, all right, okay, this is what needs to be done right now. We only have an hour or so much of practice time. Take use of this time, and that's literally how it is. Like we see. I'm not gonna say what team was down there shooting with, but they were down there shooting with them, and coach looking like, I dare y'all. I dare y'all to join in. Like, I dare y'all to join in. Y'all know what, like, this is what we supposed to do. No, we don't get caught up with that. And of course, now if LeBron James walk in the building, I don't know what's going to happen. If Michael Jordan walk in the building, people are going to stop. It's like Michael Jackson when, you see the girl and they, Michael. I'll probably faint if I say LeBron.
Is he your number one?
Yeah, me and Aunt been going. Me and Jay on our team, we've been going at it. But yeah, Brian number one. That's the first basketball player I ever watched.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So he older. Yeah.
Who's Jay saying? MJ.
He older. He gonna say Michael, and he keeps saying, "Oh well, Jordan ain't never lost 2 games straight." Okay, that's fine. Jordan never lost 2 games straight. That's okay, cool. But Jordan. That's another conversation.
I mean, I just want to throw my answer in the ring because no one ever agrees with me, which is Magic. Magic's my guy.
I'm not mad at that.
All right.
I'm not mad. My pops say Magic. I say Bron, Kobe, Michael. People get mad at me for that.
Different generation,
It's kind of like Star Wars. Like Obi-Wan. Well, Obi-Wan did eventually be Anakin, but still Anakin.
Yeah. All right.
Anakin was.
We've got off topic. I'll get you out with this last question. I'll let you get on with relaxing for the rest of the day. We talked about team expectations for the season, but what are your personal expectations for the 2023 SlamBall season? What do you want to get out of this first tournament as part of the league?
I'm learning a level of professionalism that I need to carry. Every minute of the day I need to be moving in a professional manner, handling my business, being a man about certain things, because this is all this is being a man, standing on your business, standing on your work. My expectations for this season, for me, I expect to be one of the better handlers. I expect to be a double guy. I don't know if they count assists in this league, but I know loose ball retrievals.
Back in the day, it was points, blocks, tackles, and LBRs, no assists. But Again, I just told you I'm a Magic guy. I need them to track assists. I need to know. So
Yeah, I'm tracking assists in my head like I'm doing, like people do points. I'm tracking assists like that's one. That's like I'm looking how many times I can set up a guy. How many times can I slow up a guy from getting in the trap so Gaze don't have to work extra hard and doing those things. We get out in transition and run. So it's gonna be fun watching them all. I promise you that. And it's gonna be we got the same mentality as the old team did. We're not the biggest. We are not the biggest team. I'm gonna let you know that now. We're not the biggest. We're not the weakest.
all right. It's been wonderful talking to you, Cam. Mob Ties. You can see the Mob start the entire season off on July 21st on ESPN. Thank you so much for talking to me. How do you want to say goodbye to the people at home?
Hey, I want to shout out to Eastwood, Alabama. You know, smaller corporation in Jacksonville. You know, I just want to shout out to the kids in Calhoun County and Gaston, surrounding kids, whole Alabama. I want to say, you know, anything that you believe that you can do, you got to achieve it, you got to seek it, you got to see it before you even do it. So figure out a plan, attack it, execute it, and get to and handle your business.
And keep all that in mind for when you win the MVP of the championship as well. You're going to have to say all those names again or someone's going to be hurt.
Yes, sir.
Thanks so much for taking the time, Cam. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take it easy.